Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to ExceedingTV. I'm Reek.
And I'm Tracey.
Christy Lane. I love it. Hi, sister.
Hey, sister.
How you doing?
Good. Doing good.
That's good. So, you look so excited. I love it. This week's episode, y'all, I was sitting down. Like I've been telling y'all, I've been reading the Gospels. And I'm at Luke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this week's episode is called Watch Your Mouth.
All right.
Watch Your Mouth. So, a little bit of backstory. So I'm talking about fresh into Luke. And it was the part where, and I literally never read this. Like, it's so crazy. I've never read this. But I was reading it, and it was about John the Baptist's dad. Mm-hmm. When he came to him, and he was like, your wife can have a son.
Okay.
Your wife can have a baby. And he like, ha, ha, ha. No, she not. Because she old. And I was thinking, because I got the study Bible, right? So in the study Bible, at the bottom, it was like, there are so many examples of this happening. God, Abraham,
mm-hmm.
like,
yeah,
you got access
mm-hmm.
to this information being true. Because he was saying that he was the one that lit the incense mm-hmm. in the synagogue. Mm-hmm. I think it was a synagogue. And so it was like, you should have definitely knew that this has happened before. But he was like, no, that ain't gonna happen because... And he kind of didn't say it, but of course, the Lord. Mm-hmm. So, shut this man's mouth, y'all. Shut his mouth, mute until I think she had the baby and named the baby because they was like, you got to name him. Mm-hmm. I think it was Zachariah. Uh-huh. He was like, you got to name him Zachariah. And they was like, she was like, no, this baby name is John. And they was like, no, it's Zachariah because his daddy name is Zachariah. Mm-hmm. And they was like, no, his name is John. And it literally said, after she named the baby, that's when God opened his mouth and he started to prophesy about what his life was going to be. I said, Lord, what that mean? And the Holy Spirit said, I am not going to let you mess up my plans. I'm not going to let you mess up my promise.
I'll close your mouth.
I will close your mouth before I let you.
That sounds like a blessing to me. Because
come on.
Because I have been known to mess up some stuff. I have been known to mess some stuff up when it comes to some things that God has for me. Mm-hmm. And we talk about that. I'll sabotage something in a minute.
Oh, self-sabotage. We're going to hit on that.
Sabotage something in a minute.
Come on.
Knowing that God has showed me.
Showed you? Why do we act like that?
And I was self-sabotage.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Like,
so to me, that's a blessing. A blessing.
Because that's God telling you, look, check this out. Because I had to think about it. Like, when I was sitting there and I was just processing, I'm like, John the Baptist is a pivotal part of the bigger picture. Like, he was to prophesy the coming of Jesus. Like, I cannot, he was the one that was going to baptize Jesus. Yeah. I can't let you mess that up, singer. So if I have to shut your mouth, and I think it was the angel that was saying, he was like, you don't believe what I'm saying, so I got to shut your mouth. It's Luke 1:20. I wrote that down. I got to shut your mouth because you don't believe me, but this is pivotal. I can't allow you to self-sabotage this. So what is it when God got something specifically that needs to happen in a specific time through you in particular? I'd rather shut your mouth. I'll lay you down. Like you said about your book. You don't want to write that book?
I'll lay you down.
I'll lay you down, baby. I'll
lay you down.
I'll lay you right
out for 4 months.
4 months. And
well,
guess what came?
Actually 12. Actually a whole year.
A whole year. Guess what came out of that?
A book. Absolutely.
Come on.
He came out with a book.
Come on.
But you know what? That to me, I don't know. I don't know if I like that or if I don't like it.
But I think
at the end of the day, it's actually a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually a blessing because I think at the end of the day, it's we always say, at the end of the day, you want to hear that. Well done.
Well done.
Good and faithful servant.
That's my song. Okay.
At the end of the day, you want to hear.
Yes.
But if you self-sabotage, like I said about me, like I'm a good Jesus. I'm gonna tell myself because I want to get it right at the end of the day. But I have found myself knowing that's what I do. I self-sabotage a lot of stuff. Yeah. Even after God has showed me the promise, even after He has showed me the vision, or He showed me the promise, or He have just said it, I'll still go back and just doubt, and do what I want to do.
Come on, that was me. I was like, that ain't gonna happen. If it don't look like it, like I get, it's almost like, oh God, I thank you. Because listen, I don't do this no more. Yeah, I swear I don't. God, no, I don't. I just get God a time limit. Like, God, if you don't do this thing in 3 months, I'm just gonna believe that that's not what I heard you wrong. Yeah. Like, I clearly heard, and it was like, the self-sabotage go like that, where it's just kind of like, you almost don't even realize you self-sabotaging yourself. Because you just like, you slowly just slip, you get really excited when He first tell you, like, right.
And then you just dwindle down.
And then day by day comes.
You just dwindle it down. And
it's like, oh, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely not going to happen. Yeah. And then now, you don't even look for it.
Especially when you get like, me.
What you do, sister?
Especially when you get like me, when you see the vision years ago.
Okay. Ooh, waiting.
Lord,
the God waiting on you. You ain't really waiting on Him. He waiting on you.
But waiting years. I mean, waiting years after years after years after years for a promise that God showed you. But in them years after years after years, like me, what I did was, and we talked about it on that episode. Waiting on the promise. Mm-hmm. Is that while I was waiting, I viewed it as punishment. I'm being punished.
Because you told me this like 10 years ago.
Like, does it really take that long? I'm just saying, like, just be real.
You're saying on that.
Did it really
take that long? Did you really have to do all that?
Did you really have to make me wait that long?
That long?
But then what I found out though at the end of the day is that
it's so funny.
I had a lot that was in me. Mm-hmm. Yes. That I had to process out of me. Yes. It was nothing that I did overnight. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like y'all say you ain't get it out of you overnight. So why should I bring it overnight? Oh, okay, we done with that. We just move on because I mean, really, like you didn't process it out overnight. So what am I supposed to do then? Am I supposed to give it to you overnight? Man. So, and we talked about that. You can make your process longer or shorter. And with me, in my case, I made it longer because I did not do the processing when He told me to start doing the process. Okay. So I didn't get to the latter end and said, okay, I'm done. Like, this ain't working for me.
This ain't it.
This ain't it for me.
Finally.
No more. Like, let me just try to work on me and try to fix this. Like, let me try to get this stuff out. And that's what I did. Mm-hmm. And then that's what happens. But, you know, as far as it shutting your mouth, you know, God shutting your mouth, I think it's now. Let me say now. Back then I would have been like, oh Lord, like, Jesus. Ooh. Back then I would have been like, but now sitting here now, where I'm at right now in my life today, this very second, it's a blessing. Yeah. Because I look at it, if God would have shut my mouth, if He would have shut my actions down, if He would have shut my thinking down, the way I thought, if He would have shut all those things down, that I was self-sabotaging, while knowing that he has a promise for me.
Yeah.
A promise that is going to be fulfilled.
It's going to.
If I
would have,
if he would have did that,
yeah,
I probably would not have to go through so much of hardness.
That's true.
You know, so I look at it now, but you said it that way. You put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I look at it, that probably been a better thing for me.
Yes, that's true. And you know, and it was kind of just like when I was thinking about it too, because God has really had me on mindset, because my mindset was it was I was negative Nancy, like, and it was very shocking to a lot of people because I walked around smiling all the time. But when you talk to me, it was like everything's on fire. Like, you ever see that meme where it was just like a little dog? It's like, this is fine. That was me. Like, I was going through life with this negative, just like, I just had all this stuff, just like, it's just like everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So God had me change my mindset in regards to like how I think about the everyday things. So when I was thinking about like what happened, it's just like the way to fix that, because see, it was a blessing, but he never would have had to do that if he actually believed what God said. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of just like the revelation that I got from it. It was just like, that was a blessing, because I did look at it like that. I'm like, that was a blessing because it had to come to pass, and God was not going to allow him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It
was such a major assignment.
It was such a major thing.
But I even say that everybody's assignment
is major. It's important.
I know we're not going to baptize Jesus. We don't do that.
Christine,
we're not going to do that.
We're baptizing Jesus,
but
y'all.
But I do feel that everybody's assignment is major. Yeah. Like, it's major to God.
Yes, it's
you know,
because he created you with it in mind.
Right. I don't care if it's just, you know, this is some, you know, off the wall, but I don't care if it's. I think I told this to the other day. I think I was giving my son an analogy. That's where I get this from. I was helping my son to understand some things that he was doing, but I told him, I said, if she tell you to go out there and take that broom that's in the laundry room and go out there and sweep that street with a broom, not a street sweeper,
a broom,
but an actual
regular household broom.
And with the dustpan, you bend over and sweep up like that.
And the leaves fly.
If she tell you to go from that end of the street to the other end of the street, this is my son's example, you better do it. Yeah. So I can take that example and say, if God tells you to go from that end of the street to that end of the street and sweep every piece of dirt and leaves
because I
trash
have purpose.
If that's your assignment for that moment,
absolutely,
then that's important.
That's important. That's very
important.
That's very true.
Because you ain't baptizing Jesus. We ain't doing that.
We're not baptizing Jesus.
But that's what I'm saying. Everything God tells you to do, I don't care how small it may seem,
how crazy it may sound.
How crazy it may sound, it's important to him.
Yeah.
It's very important.
It's very
important.
important.
If not, then he wouldn't have told you. Yeah. He would have told you.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Everybody's thing is important. So that means that I look at it as a blessing. Yeah. Now I do. Now if you had caught me scuffing buttons so bad, I'd have been like, not so. That's just hard. That's harsh. That's a hard saying. Yeah. That's a hard saying.
That's hard.
But yeah, to say, you know, now sitting in this seat now, today, saying it, absolutely, that was a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what if he would have spoke ill over
exactly.
the promise?
Because that's what we see.
We talked about that. Where will we be?
Where will we be? For real.
For real. Where will we be?
And it's just like, I'm like, that's so good. And it's just like, it really put into perspective, like, watching your mouth. Because also script. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Like, you can speak life or you can speak death. You can speak prosperity, or you can speak, you know what I'm saying? Everything that comes, you can speak lack, you know what I'm saying? Everything that comes out of your mouth has something attached to it. Like, because I told that you got good consequences, and you got bad consequences. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to those points where it's just like, what are you speaking? Like, what I spoke a lot of bad days over my life. I spoke a lot of bad situations. I told y'all in a recent episode, I used to make these little storylines in my head. They all weren't good. They were like, they all weren't peaches and roses, and you know what I'm saying? Like, everything that I wanted, there was storylines of how everything that could possibly go wrong was going to go wrong. And in that, I didn't know it. I wasn't aware at the time. I was pushing that stuff out. I was pushing out, I'm going to have a bad day. I'm going to be irritated all day long. Or I'm going to be, God told me he had me, but it ain't looking like it. Look at this. Look at these bills. These bills going to be due. They're going to put me up out of here. Speak out of my mouth. Just constantly. From the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. Like, and every day, and I told my friend this, I was like, every day that you wake up and tell yourself you're going to have a bad day, you're going to have a bad day. And then if you have a relationship with God and you do that, you're going to say it was God. You're going to blame God. That's what I did. I'm like, God, you want me to have a relationship with you and you ain't doing that for me throughout the day? Right. I woke up. That's one.
And you know what? And that's right. It is, and I'm learning this. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm just learning that what you say is very important. Yeah. It's very important. And like I said, if you would have caught me some months ago, for real, real talk.
For real, honestly.
I'm just being honest.
For real.
Honestly. I'm just being very transparent and honest. Like, if you would have caught me a couple of months or so ago, I didn't have this mindset. Yeah. It's that I really understand the scripture of there's life and death in the power of the tongue.
Yes, I didn't get it.
Like, I really understand that now. Yeah. Because you can speak life and death over your over whatever.
Whatever it is.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get into it because it's a I'm gonna say, she calls it a conflict, I call it a lie. But the year recovery, like, that goes in with that goes in with the, you know, speaking those things, you know, like I go,
life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Because what you say is what you get. Yeah.
Because what you sow is what you reap. Like,
absolutely, that's true.
And that's what I didn't realize. And then also, like, the Holy Spirit had to stop me in my tracks because he was like, you thought it, you might as well say it. I'm not talking about just what come out your mouth. Yeah. If you thought it, you might as well say it. So you think you say it. And that's what I did. Okay, I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it I'm going to say it to myself.
To yourself.
You still said it. You might as well just say it out your mouth. Yeah. I know your mind. I can read your thoughts, baby. I know your thoughts. Like, it's still the same
I know the thoughts that
for another thoughts that
that's what I know the thoughts I have towards you.
Place to prosper. Yeah. Yes. Right. But it's like, I know my thoughts are, if he didn't know your thoughts, he wouldn't say my thoughts are above your thoughts. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. I know it don't have to come out of your mouth. You're still self-sabotaging yourself by the thoughts that you're letting dwell in your head, because you feel like you're being slick and you feel like you one up in me by not saying it out your mouth. Like, oh yeah, I fixed it, guys. I'm just not gonna say it every morning, but I'm gonna think it every morning. I'm gonna think it every night. Yeah. When I get the bill and I can't pay it, I'm gonna think that, God, these weapons that you said ain't gonna prosper, they looking like they prospering. These weapons that you talking about, they really give and prosper. It's really, I was speaking those hardships over myself. And it's just like, I was thinking about all of the missed opportunities, all of the missed assignments, all of the things that were missed by me, like my own words. Because also, scripture, you are going to give an account to the deeds done in your body. There are assignments that were missed because I told myself, you ain't the one that's supposed to say that. It can't be you. They not. No, can't be you. You don't know how to say that. I talked about it in the other episode. It was just like, I had told myself, oh, you talk too much. Stop talking so much. And I'm like, well, Lord, look at me now, talking. Like, but I had convinced myself, like, that what I was talking about was not important. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't important enough. Or I couldn't say it out loud. Because the blog, I used to write. I remember Shakobi came to me. She was like, you ain't gonna write no short blogs? I was like,
I know, them things be long. I had to take some days to read it.
Y'all just say days. You see?
Even I had to take some days to read it.
Man, them things used to be long, but I used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to get on that iPad. I had that little keyboard with it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I used to be. But it really was episodes, really. They really were things that I should have been saying out loud because, as we know, I was supposed to start in 2020. We ain't gonna talk about it. But it was like, I used to write all this out. And I'm like, oh, yes, God. I could do it if I ain't got to say it out loud. But when it came to saying something out loud, it was like, And it's just like, how many things have been pushed back by that 2 years of just like, you can't do that. Get somebody else to do it. Like, completely forgetting about what God told me. I completely wiped it out of my mind. Like, I ain't think nothing about this. I'm talking about, I ain't think nothing about this thing at all. Until one weekend, God was like, okay, I'm tired of you. Tell me yes, right now. Right now, I'm gonna do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you gotta be careful of what you say, especially when it comes to things that, like me, with words. Speaking on that, that's what we always say. Your gifts are things that you like to do, things that concern you when it's done like that. I like to talk. I love to talk. That probably means that my gift has something to do with talking. And I have spent a lot of my life telling myself to shut up. Be quiet. You talk too much. Why you talk so much? They tired of you. They tired of listening to you. Just stop. It used to be sometimes I used to be talking, and then I realized I ain't even came up for breath, and I would just shut down, like, completely. I'm like, I was pushing back my gift with my mouth. I was pushing back walking in who God called me to be with my own mouth. And God was tired of me, just like He was tired of with Zaharias. He was tired of him. Yeah. I know your thoughts. He didn't say it out loud. The angel said that. He was like, oh no, you don't believe me. Let me shut you up. I'm just, I can't let you do that.
That was a blessing.
That was a blessing.
I'm saying it again. Where would we be?
Where would we be without all of that happening? And I think that for such a time as when this started, it was like, hey, listen, I'm going ahead and be real with you. You finna start this in a couple weeks. You finna start. You finna do it. In a week, actually. It actually wasn't even a couple weeks. It was literally 7 days. Like, it was like, oh, it's gonna come out every Friday. I'm like, oh, maybe every other Friday. Every Friday. No. Every week. Once a week. Yeah. Not every other week. Not when you want to, like you did that blog. Because you really showed out. Because I used to go months. Oh, yeah. God, I'm so sorry. I used to go months without. Now, you ain't doing it like you did in that blog. So you playing with me. You played in my face when it came to that blog. When you even feel like writing, you would go months. I'm talking about.
I think I thought about it. I was like, dog, what happened to it?
I'm talking about months. I would literally go like, y'all, Like, I think the longest I went was like 9 months one time. Nothing. Ain't right, nothing. God was like,
interesting.
Writing it down, taking notes. Yeah. No, you ain't doing that this time because I have need for you to do this thing. So I need you to say yes, and I need you to watch me work. And I think the watching of him work, even with him and Luke, like the watching of the wife actually getting pregnant, because I really had to sit down and think about this. He did not tell her. He said it before she even got pregnant. So that means with your mouth shut, you had to go get your wife pregnant. Go through the entire pregnancy. Wait until the name is named. Because I know, like, I think I read, like, after a certain amount of time, that's when they got their name after they got, like, circumcised. I think it was. You got to wait then. The baby already born. You got to wait then. And then you open your mouth. That's a long time. What was going on in your mind? Like, God did a thing. He shut your mouth. Is that what made you serious? Like, let me go. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I really had to sit. I was sitting down and I was just, God had me just like picking it apart from each angle. Like, his thought process. Like, was that what changed your mind? Did you still have doubt? Like, did you doubt until she was pregnant? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was your thought process? Because thinking about my own process, I was like, I ain't doing that. When he first told me about ExceedingTV, I'm not getting on YouTube, sir. I'm so sorry, stinker butt. I'm not gonna do that. And my mouth stopped it. And then that just one particular weekend, right after Pastor B was like, the Lord said, it's something that you're supposed to be doing and you need to start it. I was not thinking about it. I was not thinking about this when I went up there. Yeah. Because it was so long ago. That was 2 years ago. I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking about this. Me get COVID, sitting on this couch. Y'all heard the story. Sitting on this couch. And the Lord was like, you going to start a YouTube. I said, no, I'm not. You're going to start the YouTube. Tell me yes tonight. Tell me yes tonight. Tell me why not. Tell me why not. Can you tell me why? You can't tell me why not. And I'm just like, I couldn't think of one reason that made sense. I'm talking to the Lord. I can't think of one. I'm like, okay, God, well, my weight. Who cares? Who cares about that? Okay, God, well, you know I talk too much. That's what I want you to go do. And you don't talk too much. You talk just enough. I talk. That's how much you do. Talk. That's perfect. Ain't it? Huh? Ain't it perfect? That's how much you gonna do. Talk. And I'm like, all right, God, yes, I'll do it. Boom, everything. I'm going straight to it. I'm like, all right, God, this the backdrop you want me to get? This the curtains you want me to get? This what you know what I'm saying? And it was just like everything. That was what clicked when God started moving. But I said yes first. He got his mouth shut first. Yeah. Just I'm still kind of processing it. Like, I know I'll never know, but I think it's interesting to ponder on.
And it's interesting that he shut his mouth first before he even gave you yes.
Come on. When did the yes start? Like, was you and your wife just, you know what I'm saying? It just so happened? Like, did you just fall? Like, did it just so happen to happen? Did she just so happen to get pregnant? Because the Holy Spirit brought to my attention, that was not the first time that happened. Like, they had I can't remember what they called them. They knew about Abraham. Like, yeah. You knew Abraham. You know Sarah was old.
Now, the only thing I can think of is that's good because, you know, only thing I can say is God knows. Like, he really does know you. Like, he really did create you Like he did know you from the foundation of his womb.
Literally, like before I formed you.
And he knows his children. Mm-hmm. And he knows his children's personalities. He knows his children ins and out because he created them.
Yes.
And so he might have knew.
Like
Tracey. He probably was saying, yeah, got me another Tracey. Yeah, got me another dummy over here. Let me.
She gonna come a bunch of years later.
Just shut her mouth.
Ooh, if God started walking around doing that,
she gonna sabotage whatever I done told her, whatever I done showed her. So we just shut her mouth.
Maybe shut her mouth. Oh my goodness! If God really start walking around doing that, boy, we'd be so silent. We'd be a silent world. Everybody know ASL.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
I'm telling you, I'd be the first one in the line. Cause I'm telling you, it caught me.
Listen, ASL, boy, cause
yeah,
that is. I was like, God, this is a very. I really do. You gotta read the Bible, man. It's so like when you look at it for the words, it'd be like, especially the King James version. I'm like, ugh. Then you gotta name all these people. I don't know how to say these people's names. Like I don't. But when you just sit down and you just catch on to something, like, and you catch on to an account, and it's just like this one account it pulled me in. Like it really did. It just pulled me in. And I'm just like, okay, God, well, why? Well, why you have to do that? Like, when did this happen? Like, and it was kind of just like, it was like this whole conversation of like, and the revelation that came out of it was, watch your mouth. That's all you gotta do. Watch your mouth. Mm-hmm. Watch your mouth so I don't gotta watch it. Because if I gotta watch your mouth, I might have to shut it. Yeah. Because I can't imagine what would have happened if that particular Sunday that I was sitting on this couch talking to the Lord about ExceedingTV, if I still said no. If I still said no, with the way everything is just lining up, even the mishaps, even the being gone, everything is lining up impeccably. As if, not as if like I don't know, as if God set it up himself. Like, as if God set it up himself. When it started becoming available to be a podcast, when it got uploaded to YouTube, when I went back after trying for a month of trying to get it on YouTube, for somebody to come back and remind me that God told me it was going to be on YouTube. Because that's what he did. Mm-hmm. Now, he asked me a question, but what he really did was remind me. You put it on YouTube. I can't get it on our channel if you don't put it on YouTube. I'm like, well, God, now you're trying to be funny now. Because you know I can't put it on YouTube. He said, go put it on YouTube. I'm like, God. He said, go put it on YouTube. I went straight to Chrome. Went straight to the website I needed. That thing, I uploaded 3 episodes in one day. In 1 hour, to be exact. By downloading it a different way. But I downloaded it from Facebook. So it had to go on Facebook because I had to not be able to put it on YouTube. So it's another, and it's just like everything is like, do. Everything is lining up perfectly. And that's how it had to line up like that. Elizabeth had to get pregnant with John the Baptist before Mary got her son. She heard what she heard. Elizabeth heard what she heard. It just lined up. Like, Mary could have stayed with her. I'm like, Mary was a midwife, y'all. I did not know. Don't be reading, folks. I'd be so interested. I'm like, ooh, this is good. Mm-hmm. This is, stay with her. The last 3 months. I think it was the last 3 months. Had a baby. Went back. Had her baby, and then it's just like it
all rolled together.
It all rolled together. Everything rolled together, and I'm just like, that is genuinely how God works. Everything rolls together when you're in His flow. Like, and when I honestly feel like now reading this, like God was not going to let me say no. He was not going to let me say no because it had to start when it had to start, just like everything else that falls in line. Everything has to go according to his will. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, this in there. This you, foundation of the world. You told me no, I let you play with me for 2 years. I don't even know why he let me play with me that long, honestly. I wasn't ready. Thank you, Lord. I wasn't ready though. Okay. Earlier this year. It couldn't even start in January. ExceedingTV started in August. The Lord knew. Like, you ain't ready. Like, you're not ready. But now that I feel that you have grown to a place where you're going to hear me, you're going to say what I tell you to say, now I'm requiring a yes. Let me ask you again.
Yeah.
Let me ask you one more time. Yeah. And this time, I know you hear me enough to hear me asking you and to know I'm not playing with you.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Hey, you know my testimony behind it. He gonna get my attention.
He gonna get
you. It may not be cute. But he gonna get my attention. It may not be cute.
Come on.
He may be like, baby. So he be like,
yeah, listen.
Check
this out. Check this out. Let me talk to you real quick.
It's over for you.
You keep on.
It's over for you.
Don't look at you.
It's over for you. That's what.
Oh, he's so hard-headed,
bro. It's over for you, Christy. That's how he talked to me. He talked to me like that. It's over for you.
Sister, that let me know that you hard-headed. How the Lord talk to you? Let me know everything I need to know about you.
I'm telling myself.
You hard-headed. God had to tell you a couple things.
Yeah, he has. And I thank God that he didn't just boot me off.
Come on.
Boot me off the island. That he gave me at least an opportunity, another chance. We talked about that on the praise line, on the our prayer line, Morning Glory prayer line, fellowship.
Yes.
I forget whatever it was. One lesson. It was Danielle talking lesson, Pastor Danielle, and she talked about basically about praise, about being thankful, remembering where God has brought you from, remembering, go back and remember those things.
Come on, think on these things.
Right, and think on these things. Yes. And don't forget, just because he did it 20 years ago.
Come on.
Don't forget what he has done for you.
Same God.
And it was such a phenomenal, for me personally, message because, that's me. I'm a praiser at heart.
Yeah.
A worshiper at heart. But it reminded me of, don't ever forget.
Don't let it slip your mind.
Don't let it slip your mind.
Yes.
Like, because you need to be grateful. And I said that to say this is because he could just booted me off.
From the island. You are eliminated.
Right
Goodbye.
Boot me right on off. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that he allowed me even today, right now, sitting here, breath right now to say, God, I thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
God, I thank you. God, I'm grateful.
Because
I'm telling you, he didn't make my way hard.
Yeah. I made my way hard.
I figured it out. I made my way hard.
I made it so much harder.
It unnecessarily hard.
Unnecessary roughness. You remember?
Unnecessary roughness.
The Hawkins taught that thing. Yeah, she walked that thing down. Unnecessary roughness.
And
that's what it is.
I did unnecessary roughness to myself.
Yes.
To myself. And I thank God right now that, and this, so I Pastor Danielle's message is that I just thank God that he gave me an opportunity right now.
Yeah. To
try to get some things right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I'm telling you, I have made so many mistakes in my life. Yeah. And I'm grateful that, that's why I said, that's why I look at that, what you said, now as a blessing, because maybe people would have shut my mouth to get me to the promise, or to get me to the promises. then I probably wouldn't have so much I have to try to, time I have to make up for.
Yeah.
Because now I got to go back, and I got to
catch up.
I got to catch up. I got to get there.
And you know, the one I love about God is our favorite scripture. 8:2-8ers.
8:2-8ers.
All things work together for your good.
Right.
The
good, the bad,
and the ugly. That's
not there.
Christy version.
That's not there. But I just add that on the end after the period.
Because it's good. Like
in quotation marks.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's just like, I was laughing. I was watching one of the other episodes, and I was laughing. It was like, why do you give God so many examples to have to turn around? But I'm just like, that's what we do. We give God things to have to turn around. So now he has to concern himself with those things instead of the actual promise. And then we're sitting there like, where's the promise? Where, like you said, doing whatever you want to do while waiting on the promise.
Exactly. It's like a child, you know. I talk about my son. You know, if I have to keep reprimanding him and keep talking to him about the same thing, keep going
over
to him
and
telling him don't do that and stop doing that. This is what's gonna happen. Blah 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 blah. I'm spending more time doing that when I have something he has asked for, whatever it is, a promise. We just say a promise.
Yes.
Over there. And I'm trying to get him from here to over there. But I got to keep talking to him.
Sick.
I got to keep, absolutely. I know he be sick with me. I know he do. I know he do. I know he be sick with me. That's why I'm so grateful right now.
Because you didn't have to do it, but you did. Hallelujah.
You didn't have to do it. You didn't have to spend my life.
Absolutely.
Going from point A to point B.
Yes, because I went it from point A. You wanted it point A to point B. I did point 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.5. It was like so many. Like, and it was just, it's like you have all those different pit stops. And then now you have all of this frustration. And it's just like, God is like, well, baby, I still promised you something.
Yeah.
I'm not a liar.
Who said that? I think somebody said that too about, I think that was this morning on the prayer line, was about, I think that's what the teacher was basically talking about this morning, is that God don't need your help. He don't. He need your help with the promise.
He don't need your help.
He promised you it. He created the promise. He set the promise in motion. He ordained the promise. I need your help.
It's sitting here right now. I'm so grateful because I honestly lived up a big chunk of my life thinking God needed my help. Not even thinking, not saying God needed my help because I wasn't acknowledging God. I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I got to do it. Because I'm praying him. Now, I ain't doing nothing he asking me to do. But I'm praying, God, I got a grocery list, a honey-do list of things I need you to do for me. But let me help you out a little bit. Even when I started having a relationship with God, very much so, let me help you out. Like, Lord, let me just, I'm going to just do this. And then when I do that, that's when you could do this. And then you could do that. And then I could do this. And then we can work together, God. Like, God, like, girl, you ain't doing nothing in my way and blocking what I have need for. Like, I'll never forget on the script say, I need you to catch up. You late. You gotta run. Like, I need you. Come on. You wasted too much time, I'm saying. Like, because the promise is going to come, which is kind of what he did with Zachariah. Was like, there's an appointed time for this promise. Yeah. Now I feel like you got promises that, okay, I promised you this. But there's promises that I have, it's an appointed time. And I don't got time for you to mess this one up. So I'd rather shut your mouth for 10 months, 9 months, for some change. I'd rather shut your mouth because this one, my son is coming. My son is coming. It's time for my son to come forth. I don't got time for you to do the back and forth. Because if I think so, I don't know who came first. I'm gonna have to reread it now. I don't know who came first. I don't know if Elizabeth's came first or Mary's came first. as far as the promise of you're going to have a baby and name is Jesus, or if Elizabeth got hers, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but it's like, my son is coming. Either way it go, I know my son is coming, whether I told Mary yet or not. Because I know that Mary came to be with her and to be with her during her pregnancy. So it was like, I have a certain time frame for this one. Now, you didn't mess up a lot of your personal, like, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to show you what the life I have for you. I'm going to show you who I called you to be. I'm going to show you these things. And we messed up a lot of things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that appointed, like, I need you to start just being and walking the walk. August 5th, 2022. He told me, August 2019, 2020, hey, I need you to start this. 2020. I need you to start this. I need you to start this. A year before that, you late. I need you to run. I need you to run. I got to a point, got saved for real. I'm like, all right, kind of. Because, I've been doing some introspective. And I'm like, Lord, was I saved for real? Was I? Like, I think, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? I started walking with you. But it was just like, there were certain things he told me. Like, that was the very beginning. Before it started, the walk started. You are late. Only to find out that I was late in regards to getting to August 2022. Like, you were late because it should have started August 2020. Because that's when he told me, hey, that's when I released the blog. I came out with the blog. Yeah. But he told me to do both of them simultaneously. I picky choosy. I'm going to do the one I like. I'm going to do the one I like. And I did that. And it's just like, God, it was bad. I repent. But I thank you for allowing me to play in your face like that. Because you could, like you said, you could have knocked me off as soon as I didn't do it then. Boop. Goodbye. Done. It's fine. Like, because what they say? I'll kill you, make another one like it.
Kill you, make another
just like you. You could have did that. Like, you could have did that. But that patience, like, okay, let me walk it. To get to a point where it's like, I do hear you 100%. Because I was shaking in. Because I pretended like I didn't hear you say start YouTube. I did. I looked, I'm like, yeah, I can do a blog. Yeah. I heard it, clear as day. No, he said a blog. I can do that. Yep. Just completely disregard it. And then to get to a point where it's like, okay, Lord, I hear you. And for us to be sitting down having a conversation, because who knew that was ever going to happen back in 2020? Like, to be sitting down having a conversation with the Lord and be like, okay, Lord, I really don't want to do that. But he like, I really do want you to do it. And I'm like, okay. That's what I was late. I was late for that. I was late because I should have been in position when it was first, when it was first brought. Right. You're late. But he told me I was late before I even got late. I was like, everything just, because God's timing is not our timing. And that's why the urgency of hearing God and watching how your mind accepts the thing that God tells you. Like, I have had to accept, like, a lot. I had to make sure I keep my mind in a posture of, this is the Lord we talk about. Right. This is God, girl. I'm talking to myself. Reek. This is the Lord. Like, he told you to do it. You can get up now and do it. Go get up. Go ahead and wake up. Get up. But keeping my mind in that posture, because it's just like, it's not that, like, especially now that our relationship has grown, it's like, it's not that I'm just like, oh God, I don't want to do that. But there are certain things that's just like, ooh. And I have to come back to myself and be like, watch your mouth now. Like, literally tell myself, like, hey, don't do that. Like, you don't see it yet, but make sure you still speak those things as if they are. Like, make sure you keep your mind on the promise, because I believe that the promise, especially those personal promises, like those personal things that God says, I'm going to do that for you. That's to encourage you. Mm-hmm. It's to encourage you that even if this ain't, it'll always be like this. It won't be like this, which is why See Beyond What You See was so like, yeah, because that is literally, that was from on high. That was from the whole, that was the Lord. Like, and I caught that thing, like the power that was behind it. Like, if you can see beyond what you see right now, you are unstoppable. Yeah. You're unstoppable, because that's you always dwelling in the spiritual, in the spirit world. Mm-hmm. Like, that's you constantly dwelling in that space of, because you're touching these things. These are the things right now. But if you can keep your mind fixated on something that you absolutely do not see, like, that thing hit me hard. Yeah. Like, and I gotta watch my mouth to do that, to see beyond what I see. Because if I don't be conscious about what my circumstances right now look like, it's easy to fall into, man, that ain't go. That's not gonna happen. That's, I must have heard him wrong. No, I hear the voice of the Lord. He must have, I ain't seen it yet. Just like you said, you waited years. Yep. Like, years. And you postpone that. And the awareness that you postpone that. It's like, all the things that you spoke on the promise, and that you spoke on these things with stuff that you was doing. Like, what? Yeah. I'm just going to go over here and I'm waiting on the promise. I'm just going to do this while I'm waiting on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's very, that, man. I'm trying to tell you, that thing wrapped me up. I'm sorry, I got a lot. It's what James said. It's self-explanatory. It's black and white. And I just love that, because that's how, it's like I think I was telling him, was I talking to you? When I was like, when I read the Bible, it's like the revelation I get is so black and white. Oh, yeah. Like, it's so like, because my brain, I'm usually like a overprocessor. That's why I used to use my overprocessing to one up on God. We talked about that. Like, I used to like try to like, ooh, this way he finna come. This how he finna come next. Crazy. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That was nuts. That was a nuts side. Like, but now I use that processing and that look at it from every angle in the Bible, because it helps me digest it. Right. Like, it helps me to, this thing became personal. Like, I know these people. Like, I'm like, yes, bro, what was you thinking? Like, I wish I could just talk to you and be like, when did you, like, stop acting crazy? Like, let's switch stories. When I stop acting crazy and when you stop acting crazy. Like, that's how I read it. Like, I be writing on the Bible. Like, as soon as I hear it, it'd be like a sentence or a word, which is where these episodes come from. Like, it's like, I just write it down. I write whatever I'm thinking, whatever I hear, I just write it down. And I'm just like, it's almost like I'm just like right there. Like, I'm standing there with them. Like, I be standing there I was standing there in the synagogue, like with the incense and everything. I'm like, bro, you believe him? Oh my God. Hey, whatever it takes. Man, come on. That's whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Because I swear I was just telling somebody. I was like, the first full Bible chapter that I read in totality was James. I think that's why I connected with James, like, immediately. Yeah. It was like a pivotal. I had never read a whole, and that was literally with like the last couple years. I had never, ever, even the short one. It's one I know is like 2 pages. I never read any book all the way through until a couple of years ago. And the first one I read that I came up on was James. And it's kind of like, God just work how he work. Because I'm just like, I think just like it's cut and dry. Look, you either gonna do this, or you gonna do that. Either way it go, this is what's gonna happen. when you do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's what it is. You waver, don't expect nothing for God. He ain't finna give it to you. You're just going with the wind. You're double-minded. Don't ask him for nothing. Like, that's how I read it. I read it just like that. And that's how I read all the rest of the books. Like, Lord, what you trying to say? What's up? Why am I reading this? What do you want me to get from this? Like, I asked God, like, why? Why did that make sense to me? I asked him about the revelation. Why did that make sense to me? That made perfect sense, God. Why? Yeah. Is that something that I need to be doing? Like, that whole process, it's just like, and this one just jumped out. I said all of that to say just this one jumped out.
Definitely give him James.
It's just, it's black and white. I love
black and white.
I love it. It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's
black
so,
and white.
Hey, watch your mouth. No?
Sorry, y'all. My ears.
My eyes, I'm like, oh, you want to cut up now? Like, what you want to cut up? You ain't cut up all day. You ain't cut up all day. But that's it. Watch your mouth. Be more aware of the things that you say. Just be more aware. Our ministry was on, like, that was that last year?
Aware.
Be more aware. Like, be more aware. It was one, I got to tell on myself because it was so funny. I came up to the church and Pastor was like, Sister Rika, did you see the shirts? And I was like, no, Pastor B, I didn't see them on the chair. She was like, they were outside the door in like the flowers. And she was like, I thought you would have seen them. And I said, oh, Lord. I had to repent. I said, God, I was not being more aware. She was like, I thought you would have saw them because they were sitting. They literally, when I walked out the door, they literally, it looked out of place. Like, it was a bag and a flower pot. And I was like, all right, God.
What they said was snake, it would have bit you.
If it was a snake, it would have been. Because I'm like, she said she was going to put it on the chair inside. So I'm like, okay, she must have just not came up here. The Lord was like, yeah. Are you being aware of your surroundings? Like, are you being more aware? So that was my recent little pop from the Lord, because that was very recent. That was my recent pop. And I was like, you know what? That's where this kind of took me in a mindset. Be more aware of the things that you say. Be more aware of how you handle what God puts in your hands. Because I trust you with the things that I'm telling you. Right. He trusted them. Hey, gotta be you, State. I trust you with this. He said that without saying it. I trust you with this particular promise. This appointed time promise. Yeah. I trust you with it. Come on, let's run. Oh, you don't believe me? All right, let me. I didn't want to have to do this, but I got something for that. I can help you with that. Yeah,
I can help you with that.
Don't let God have I got something for that. Ooh, Lord, I thank you.
I got plenty of those.
Ooh, I got something for that.
I ain't got plenty of those. I got something for that. You don't keep doing that. I got something for that too.
I got something for all that.
Yeah, I'm telling myself.
I got something
for all that.
Across the board. I got something for you. Okay, so any last remarks?
Self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, something to think about.
Yeah. Like, it's really been on my mind. Like, I'm like, all right, God, when is, because this was last week, and he had me just writing down. I started reading, and I just started hearing all kinds of different topics and stuff like that. But I listened to the Lord. Like, he was like, this one is going to be on this date. This one's going to be on that date. This one's going to be on this date. And I'm like, I've been itching to talk about this. So I'm like, this is so good. Because I swear it wrapped me up so quick. But it was like, it's so good. It's definitely something to think about. I've really been thinking about it. And it's been being more aware of how I think. And being more aware of going back and being like, where have I done this before? Like, where have I, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where have I stopped some things and pushed back some promises and trying to think about it differently? You know what I'm saying? Just trying to go back and think about it with a new mind, a new day's mind. Like,
Yeah.
So that's all I want, y'all. Just read Luke. Think about what a new day is mine, okay? But the shameless plug for today is East King Corners Cafe.
Awesome.
That food. I'm jealous. So I heard it to be the shameless plug. I have never eaten it. That's how I know it's the Lord. If she throws it up in my face, I don't appreciate that either. Yeah, tell them about it.
It is delicious. I think I pretty much had, except their new stuff that they got now, I pretty much had probably, I done had their smoked wings, I done had their ribs, I done had their Raleigh sandwich, I done had their tacos, I done had their bowls.
You said she throwing it in my face. Doesn't it sound like she throwing it in my face?
The latest thing I tried was their grilled fish.
So you still eating it without me?
Well, I had that last Friday. I think it was last Friday. You knew about that. Because we were supposed to go that Saturday and we didn't make it. But that's the latest I had. It was, oh, God, it was so good. It was so delicious.
Y'all, I feel like she's trying me a little bit, don't it?
So Tommy and Tracey.
Tommy and Tracey White. I want, what is it? The ramen bowl.
Oh, the ramen bowl.
That ramen bowl looks so good.
I haven't tried that. That's one of the new ones.
I want it. I want a soul bowl.
They got collard greens now.
Yes, they got the soul food side, the yams. I want them yams.
Yeah.
I think she called it Tracy B or TB or whatever it's called. I want them yams. I
haven't tried those, but I heard they're really delicious.
Oh my goodness.
I heard they're really delicious. But
I need the tacos because I heard all about these tacos.
Oh yeah.
She wouldn't even save me a piece. Crazy, huh? It's wild, isn't it, guys?
It's good. Check them out.
Absolutely. East King Corner Cafe.
Martin Luther King Drive.
Yes. And they have this nice little setup in the back. Yeah. Like, I think last Saturday when we were supposed to go, they had like the football game. Yeah. And they were just watching the game.
They have live music back there.
Come on. It's a beautiful setup.
I've been in their live music. It's nice. Yes. It's almost like a courtyard. You just sitting out in your lawn chairs. They got the stage.
Yes. Apparently I'm going to have to go by myself.
But it was nice. I had a really good time. But they got, I'm seeing that they're doing more stuff now.
Yes.
Like I said, the game was one thing they did last Saturday. But I'm sure, check them out. They'll do parties. All kind of events. I don't want to put their stuff out there like that.
But we gonna put their information up there. But y'all can ask them what they do. They rent it out. Okay,
it's something nice for the summertime.
Oh my goodness, yes. With some good food.
Yeah, good food. Live music. Just nice, chill spot.
Absolutely.
It's real nice.
So definitely go check them out because I was like, the Shameless Plug. And then I had never eaten there. So I'm like, so that's how I know it's a sign that I need to go and eat there.
And they open on Saturdays now, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they open on Saturdays.
I'm going without you. You know that, right?
That's fine.
Okay, sister, you know I wouldn't go without you.
No.
You gotta flex on me. You ain't gotta count me in front of these people. In front of the company. You gonna count me in front of the company?
Good night, good evening.
She gonna count on me in front of the company. Oh!
Like, this is not my show. So let me I'll be out the door. So let me just stop.
Kick her right over that. That is all that we have for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us again. We appreciate y'all for those watching, listening. We love you.
Yes.
Appreciate you. So, good morning.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good night.
Bye.